Hello there my Jedi and Sith friends, my Mandalorians, my Megalorians, and I think I see a Wookiee coming in. Mind your head, mind your head. But hello one and all and welcome to another Star Wars video. And today, we've got some more huge Star Wars updates. Part of this video is going to be a continuation from yesterday's. We had some huge leaks for Star Wars Starfighter, the next Star Wars movie coming next May, but today we have some clarifications, and just in case that's not juicy enough, we have some information for a secret Star Wars movie that Lucasfilm is working on behind the scenes that no one really knows about. And just before we dive into it, make sure to hit the big subscribe button down below, ring the bell for notifications, give it a good old tickle, but no more jibber jabber. Let's dive straight in. So just to begin with a little appetizer, because we do have a range of different updates, it appears as though after 7 long years, Lucasfilm might be about to give us some indication of how Rey got the yellow kyber crystal that she uses to power a lightsaber at the end of episode 9. This remains one of the biggest Rise of Skywalker mysteries to date, but in the upcoming book Star Wars Legacy, which drops at the end of this month, a new synopsis teases that we might get something of a hint. The book is set between episodes 8 and 9. Rey and Leia go to Tython. They search the ancient Jedi temple and go through Jedi artifacts to find out how to fix the Skywalker saber. And because fans have theorized that she might have had that kyber crystal before episode 9, this book could confirm that Rey got it on Tython, held onto it until the end of the film. In either case, it's something Lucasfilm has never addressed. But now my friends, on to Star Wars Starfighter leaks. So in case you missed my last video, I do encourage you to go check it out, but the lowdown is this. Ryan Gosling is playing a character called Cade, and we did talk about connections to Cade Skywalker from the expanded universe. Flynn Gray, Ryan's nephew in the film, is a character called Roan, or Ronin, and Cade's mission is to bring Roan to the Jedi Temple on a planet called Adaria. This is probably where Rey resides. We also found out there are going to be numerous Padawans in the film, and Aaron Pierre is also a Jedi. He's gonna fight Mia Goth on Adaria. But today, my friends, we have some additional details, mostly some amendments to some of that early info, and I think it's really important to set the record straight, because there is something very interesting about the way the film ends. It's not what you think. So originally, Making Star Wars said that Flynn Gray's father in the film is someone who is the best friend of Cade, but apparently this information is false. It was part of the original audition script to hide the fact that, and spoiler warning, Amy Adams' character dies very early on in the film. She is Ronin's mother, but we don't know who his dad was. I've heard some rumblings that person might come back to be important, but for now, we don't know, and it's no longer true that Ryan Gosling's Cade was best friends with him. And a second clarification, and this one is pretty huge, the mission to take the kid to Adaria is not the ending of the film. In fact, the landing on Adaria from Cade and Roan is in the second act. It's a huge point of tension, but it goes very, very wrong, because Mia Goth kidnaps our heroes. And this is where the speculative side of my brain started to kick in, and I'm wondering if there's a second planet, a second Jedi sanctuary that we're gonna see at the end, a secret place that our villains don't know about. Or alternatively, just like Luke against the Dark Troopers in Mando Season 2, at the end, Rey is gonna swoop in and save Cade and Roan herself. Okay, so now my friends, we have a clarification which is going to come as very good news for those who are disappointed that Amy Adams doesn't have much screen time. Despite her early death, she also has scenes later in the film too, probably in flashbacks. At the end of the day, by all accounts, she was once a Jedi herself. In her dying breath, she literally gives her lightsaber to her son, but we're gonna learn more about who she once was. And I have a feeling that's gonna trigger a lot of speculation. There are lots of theories connecting her to Luke. Lots of people who think she's going to be the canon Mara Jade. Let's wait and see. And now we know that despite her early death, there are more scenes with her later in the film. So those are a couple of adjustments, a couple of amendments to the Making Star Wars rumors. But now we have a Feature First exclusive. Following the information revealed about Cade, Feature First posted an official description of the character based on early footage. They begin by corroborating the character's name, and then they say this. The character is reminiscent of Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, with the character clad in a leather jacket and dual-wielding blasters. To drive the Star-Lord comparisons further, our sources said he will also be sporting a mask and goggles, similar to those worn by the real-life fighter pilots, breathing tube included. And throughout the film they say, Cade will be a father figure to Ronin. He'll be the father the boy never had. So just as we see with so many other Star Wars projects, continuing the father-son dynamic. And I will just say something which I have to be a bit careful about. Aside from Rey, I have good reason to believe that Starfighter has more sequel connections than you might think. And to repeat something which I saw someone comment, it seems that Starfighter is going to be to episodes 10, 11 and 12, what Rogue One is to A New Hope. So even if Lucasfilm and Sean Levy say that it's a standalone in the truest sense, it doesn't have wider implications, I'm actually very doubtful about that, unless they removed a lot of what I've been hearing behind the scenes. But it's very interesting that everything to do with the Jedi Academy is not at the end of the film. Mia Goth, the dark side user, finds the Jedi Academy and she fights Aaron Pierre. And I don't think we're going to see Rey in this scene. If she is still in the film, it's going to be implied that she's the one who set it up, but I don't think she's going to be present on Adaria when that happens. Again, no word, no confirmation one way or another about Daisy, but you have to figure if there is a Jedi temple during this time, Rey's going to be part of it. But moving on, my friends, we do have some other Star Wars updates. It turns out that behind the scenes there are some secret Star Wars movies in the works, some feature films on the animated front. We've been hearing rumours about more Clone Wars spin-offs, some kind of animated feature film in the style of the Clone Wars, and even Lucasfilm Animation has admitted that there are certain projects fans don't know about yet. But today, guys, we do have some more info. Following the recent trailer for the 9th Jedi spin-off series, Lucasfilm has confirmed there will be more Vision spin-offs, under the banner of Star Wars Visions Presents. This has sparked a bit of a debate online, because these are not canon. Is this Disney's version of Legends? After all, it's a continuity separate from the main one. And after they made this announcement, our good friend Fives Walker has heard behind the scenes that the next series is going to be based on the episode The Duel. And not just this, but they're also making a theatrical movie based on the Vision short Screecher's Reach, and it's set to release next year, and it's going to have a limited run in cinemas. I understand not everyone's a big fan of anime, not everyone likes Visions, but they also corroborate that a non-Visions animated film is also in the works. Again, something we've been hearing about for years. They don't know what it's going to be yet, but I heard about a year or two ago that it's one of Lucasfilm Animation's most ambitious projects to date. They've come a long way since the Clone Wars movie. I think it's about time they do another animated film. And if you guys remember, Jeff Snyder said that Dave Filoni wants everything to be kind of unified, so it might connect to the Mandoverse. It might be set during the New Republic. Because while a lot of us do love the Clone Wars, there is certainly fatigue in the fandom for the same period of time being done over and over again. But with that said, my dear friends, that is all for today's Star Wars news. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this one, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and may the Force be with you, always.